Welcome to God Chosen Cosmic Melodies. We're back for another one, and I'm just going to dive right in and talk about this most recent holiday called Halloween. And how the holiday is kind of revolved around something more dark than like a positive spiritual thing. And they normalize, the demonic things like witches, warlocks, demons. And because majority of humanity is in a lower frequency, and it's not their fault, it's systematic oppression and suppression energetically that keeps the masses asleep to things that should not be normalized. So the dressing up like a demon is normalized on Halloween, and everybody just goes along with it because they've been doing it for years and it's just normal, right? But it's not normal. If you really wake up and see spiritually, this realm is meant to be heaven on earth. And the secret societies, satanic secret societies all around the world, they would prefer that people consider this holiday normal and want people to, outwardly, proudly celebrate it, basically normalizing demonic things and calling it a celebration. We celebrate. And like, oh my God, this is crazy. I was driving past this block, and I seen all these like decorations in front of somebody's house, and I couldn't help, it caught my eye. I couldn't help but like, I had to take a turn back to look, like, wait a minute, what is that? And then I seen, and I like laughed, and then I was like, wait, what? Oh my God. It was a sign of saying it was like a hotel, and how anyone who goes in the hotel never comes back out unless they come out dead. And there was like a figure of people pulling out a dead body, but it was like decorations of something so dark and gruesome. And right from the, like, initially, my first reaction was I laughed, like, oh my God, that's so funny. And then I stopped myself and I'm like, oh my God, this is what they do. They normalize dark things and we just laugh it off. Like, if I really think in my right mind, in my spiritual eye, my mind's eye, seeing things in a spiritual lens for the truth of what it is, spiritually, that's really not normal to make pulling out a dead body from a from an untrustworthy hotel. It was somebody's house, but the sign was like an entry of a hotel, like a haunted hotel, or like a, an untrustworthy hotel, like one of those hotels that you see in a horror movie, like you should have never checked into that hotel in the first place. Like that kind of like, and it was on purpose. It was intentional. They wanted to make it into a joke. But my point is that there are certain things, that dark things that are a reality in life, like people do kill other people. And that's not something we should be joking about. And that's not something that should be normalized. A holiday that's normalized, that is more on the darker side of the spiritual aspects of life. And so it brought me to my experience of like witches coming after me and attacking me relentlessly nonstop for like 4 to 5 years now. And they're people that I never met personally, but these witches, they target anybody that they feel like, because they think they can, because they've gotten away with it so many times in the past, because they spiritually attack unsuspecting people who are unaware of this side of life, and people who don't have spiritual protection. So their spiritual attacks work on these innocent people, because these innocent people are completely unaware that there are witches in the world who spiritually attack random people. And it's basically, to break it down, it's the dark spirits that possess these people that work with the cabal and the occult and ritualistic practices for many different reasons. A lot of the times it's for selfish reasons, and control and power. And so they misuse their power over other people's free will. And a lot of the times the people that they attack, their life, their mind, like their mental, emotional, spiritual, and physical body starts to experience imbalances and issues, and they just like chalk it up to, it's just life, or they're unlucky, or something on the surface, without realizing that it goes way deeper, and it's not anything maybe they even did. It's just coming from a spiritual attack from a random person, from a random witch, warlock, wizard, sorcerer. They do this. And the thing is, with holidays like Halloween, this holiday basically normalizes that demonic kind of stuff, which is should not be normal. We should be celebrating the angelics of the world. There should be a holiday to celebrate the angelic truth that resides in our soul, as opposed to this like demonic, because if you really, really realize, if you go to a haunted house, or, when you see Halloween and people are so festive in it, majority of the time it's like a made up, simulated version of hell. In haunted houses, there's nothing angelic about haunted houses. It's full of hellish things, demonic things, possessive, like evil spirits, and the costumes represent that, and so the proof is in the pudding. It's like right in front of our face. And because people are in sleeper states, they don't see what's right in front of their face. They consider what's right in front of their face like normal. And when you wake up spiritually and you really realize like, oh my God, this should not be normalized on a, like all around the world, this should not be normalized anymore in this new paradigm. We are the change we want to see in the world. And I feel like more people activate to this spiritual truth, they'll start to realize with their own soul sovereignty that they don't want to partake in a holiday that represents something so demonic and, you know, was most likely created by organized crime, secret society, satanic cults that want this to be normalized, so that when you come across witches and warlocks in real life, you just see it as, oh, something like playful. And it's not playful. Being a witch is not something that should be normalized to be playful when those practices go against the Most High. And if someone doesn't know, you know, how the spiritual realm works, I remember even as a kid, a lot of the go-to costume is being a witch. And children, they don't know the dangers of the spiritual war, you know, because they're too young to know that yet. And so, you know, that's why they created this holiday, to normalize it for the children at a young age. That's what came to me. That's what God put in my heart. And that's why it's important for people around the world to start to wake up to how they manipulated us with this holiday. And they're manipulating our children with this holiday, being normalized to, you know, to dress up as these darker things. And it's so much funner when people dress up as fun costumes. You know, it would be so different if this was a holiday where everybody dressed up as a fun costume, or, you know, an expression of a higher vibration, as opposed to people dressing up as an expression of a lower vibration. People like dress up as the Reaper and dark and demonic clowns. And, you know, that's the lowest frequency, you know. And so the secret society cults all around the world, they want people to be, you know, embodying that lower frequency and considering it normal when it's not normal. We are meant to embody a higher frequency, and we should celebrate that as our soul truth, because that is our soul truth. And that lower, you know, embodiment is not our purest form. And so I just feel like that holiday is extremely spiritually misleading. And I stopped celebrating Halloween a long time ago, especially because the candy is so artificial. There's nothing good about candy in anybody's body when it comes to your dental health, your, like, all levels of health, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and physically. All those artificial sugars and additives, they don't do anything good for our children's stomachs and their development and their dental health. It really, all around, like celebrating overeating candy, celebrating demonic things, it is causing humanity to be at a lower frequency when they normalize toxic holidays like this. And the more people wake up to this and spread the wisdom of this and awareness of this, more people will activate and choose their soul sovereignty and choose to opt out of a holiday that was most likely created by satanic cults in the first place, satanic cults that want to mislead humanity. So when we open our eyes and we realize the truths behind the illusions that we see, you know, the illusion of that this is a fun thing to do, to embody something more darker, it's not fun. It's actually really spiritually toxic. So the more of us embody our higher versions of ourselves, and we can dress up all we want, but in a higher frequency embodiment, then that's where it's at. And yeah, I'll just leave this one here. I just wanted to get that out. Remember to spiritually cleanse and protect your energy daily, especially with holidays like Halloween. Witches, warlocks, sorcerers, and wizards are normalized, and they come out to, you know, play in the dark, and the wicked people come out and try to mess with other people on a spiritual level. So please, because of this holiday, make it a point to cleanse and protect your energy all that much more. Pray over yourself, your loved ones, your possessions, your family, your friends, and humanity at large, because humanity is experiencing a massive reawakening, and us waking up to the fact that we shouldn't and we don't want to celebrate a fake holiday in the first place, a fake holiday that ruins humanity. It doesn't even help humanity, not one bit. Halloween does not help humanity in any kind of way, from the candy to the demonic costumes. If they can create that, like recreate Halloween for it to be dressed up as higher vibrational embodiment of costumes, then that would be a whole different ballpark. And I feel like that's where humanity is headed, where we're going to reframe and recreate these holidays to be a more healthier humanity by celebrating healthy holidays, new holidays that are more healthy for humanity, and eliminate Halloween altogether. And that might sound unrealistic, but in my mind, body, and soul, what God put in my heart, it's very realistic, especially with the reawakening, the mass reawakening that's happening on a global level. It is more than realistic for us to wake up to the truth and how we can change that made up holiday to be healthier for humanity and the next generations to come. So yeah, I'll just leave this one here, and I will talk to you all in my next video.